of the MDMC Facebook Live series, where we get to meet and talk to some of the awesome MDMC 19 speakers. And this week we are chatting with the fabulous Vanessa Cabrera. She is a return speaker. She spoke last year at MDMC, and she's returning again this year. She is an award-winning marketing consultant and social media and email strategist, and a fabulous dynamic speaker. So she travels around the country helping small businesses, and she is a one-woman powerhouse. I'm not going to say show. She's a powerhouse who has built VanessaCabrera.com to a thriving business in just 3 years, which is phenomenal. So if you haven't joined us before for one of these episodes, we're just going to be chatting. It's going to be very freestyle. If you have any questions at any point, jump in, throw them in the comments, let us know where you're tuning in from, and we will answer your questions throughout the show. So if you have any questions, just throw them in there. And now I'm going to throw it over to Vanessa to tell us a little bit more about herself.
Hello. What's up, Brianna?
Hey.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super psyched for this show. So, hello, everyone. My name is Vanessa Cabrera, and Bree, you did my whole introduction. I don't even know what else to say. So, yes, I'm an online marketing consultant, and I would say my niche would be to help my clients come up with an online marketing strategy. With social media, it can be completely so overwhelming because there's just so many different channels and so many different ways, right, to use each channel that they're like, I don't even know where to begin. I'm just kind of posting just to post, right? So I would say, okay, let's sit down and actually devise a plan, right, for how you're actually
have a plan.
Have a plan. I know, shocker. I know, shocking. Of how you're going to use your content to actually make money within your small business. So basically, that's what I do.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's what we all need. We need someone to help us create a plan and figure out where we're going with all of this craziness.
Love it.
So let's dive into some questions in regards to these challenges that people are having. What do you think is the number one mistake people make when creating social challenges? And can you also tell me a bit more about what a social challenge is? Because I think some people would be like, what?
What's a challenge, right? What is that? Okay. So a social challenge or a social media challenge basically is a way that you can teach someone and or hold someone accountable for reaching a certain goal or learning something within a specific amount of time. Okay. So let's say, for example, it's the new year and everyone's health conscious. Okay. So maybe you can devise a, 5-day challenge to, do a cleanse or something, right? Maybe we had a little too much cocktails, a little too much food over the holidays, you know what I'm saying? And we're still carrying that holiday weight, whatever. So that's what a challenge would be, is that you would help your prospects, you would help your followers kind of say, lose that 4 pounds to kick off your healthy lifestyle in 2019 in 5 days, something like that. So that's basically what a social challenge is. And the awesome thing about social challenges or social media challenges is that it's really just helping someone solve one problem. Okay. And so I love them because, again, you hold them accountable. And if it's done right, if it's produced right, it doesn't take a lot of time, which, again, as we all know, we just don't have time for all this. And with all this content coming up where you're like, okay, if I can lose 3 pounds or 4 pounds in 5 days to kick off, my new year, right? I could do that, right? So that's basically what social challenge is.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think don't give them too big of a goal. Give them something that is achievable.
Correct.
They're going to be excited about actually reaching, not something crazy that you're like, oh, there's no way.
Yeah, lose 30 pounds in 5 days. No. Boo-boo, no, that's not going to roll.
Not even physically possible.
No, not even. Yeah, so I'd stay away from challenges like that, but you get the picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously you are passionate about social media challenges, and you told us a bit about them. Why do you just absolutely love them so much?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've done, I don't even know how many social media challenges I've done. I love them so much because for me, it's one of my favorite ways to share my content. And for me, it's, we're, as a social media strategist, you have to teach kind of like the techie part, right? When it comes to social media, there's like two things that you have to think about. One is the techie part, right? How to do this on Instagram, how to do this on Facebook, which we all have to learn, unfortunately, right? And then the other part is like how to use it as part of your strategy to grow your business, all right? So I love social media challenges so much because for me personally, it was such a different way to share my content, on a day-to-day basis. Like I said, I ran a 5-day Facebook Live challenge. And it was for people who either had never gone live ever, but wanted to. Okay. Yeah. Or I had professionals who were pros who go live all the time who just wanted to like practice or tweak or get new ideas, things like that. I love them so much because I was able to teach them, step by step, the techie part. And the transition, Brianna, from the 5-day Facebook Live challenge was like, it took a life on to its own. There was a ton of women in that group. My target audience is women entrepreneurs, but I have men clients too. Don't get it twisted, guys. I have some guys male clients too. But the transition from like where they started, where they were like completely scared to death, umming their way through, right, to like come day 5 where they're like, hey, I'm so-and-so and this is how I can help you. And I was like, look at this woman right here. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. So that's one of the things of challenges I love is just seeing like the transition of how you can help people position yourself as the expert and then actually have a goal set in mind that they can actually achieve and feel incredible about it, that they actually did it. And you can devise a social media challenge for anything. So that's why I love them so much. I just fell in love with them.
That's just so exciting, getting to empower, those people that you're connecting with and coming up with these unique ideas. It's probably like one of the hardest things, I assume, would probably be for some people is coming up with like, what is my challenge going to be?
That takes planning for sure.
Yeah. It's not like, don't come up with a challenge today and try to launch it tomorrow.
No, oh God, no, please, no. Come to my session first and then launch it after. Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. So when creating a challenge, obviously one tip would be don't create it and try to launch it in one day.
Yeah.
But what are some other tips that you can share right now? I mean, obviously you're going to share lots in your session, but just right now.
So I'd say when you're creating your challenge, step 1 really would be to figure out what is, like, I reverse engineer everything. Okay. So, it takes a lot of time and effort to create, in my opinion, a successful social challenge. You kind of have to put yourself in your followers' prospects and be like, okay, what's the journey they're going to take on in this challenge and what are they going to accomplish at the end? So I would say step 1 would be to reverse engineer. What is going to happen at the end of that challenge to them doing business with you? What's like the next step to actually make money from it? Because like you spend all this time, all this energy creating this badass challenge, and at the end they're like, okay, I'm done. I lost, like 5 pounds and that's it. This can be a step of like onboarding, if you would say, onboarding like a new client, if that makes sense. And so if you think of it in that terms, you're just kind of helping them introduce themselves to your content. You're helping them with a problem, but at the end of that challenge, they're still left with another problem that you can solve. And that's where you have like your course that they can buy or a consulting program or a product that you're selling, where it is. So it's like, to me, it's like when done well, it's really onboarding and leading them to a place where they're like, oh, okay, I've come this far. I'm like, okay, so the next step in me going live is Vanessa has a course. Let's say this isn't what happened, but just off the top of my head, Vanessa. Now I'm thinking, I'm like, I should have probably sold this. Vanessa has a course where it's after the 5-day live challenge on how to actually make money live streaming. Okay, they got over their fears. They're really confident. They know the techie stuff, and now they're like, okay, cool. I'm a small business owner. How do I make money live streaming? Okay, so I would say that step one is really figuring out the objective. You always have to have an objective in any marketing plan that you put together, right? That's just kind of like marketing 101, just to see if it's actually working, right? So if your objective is to sell, I don't know, 10 people on this course, then you reverse engineer and create the challenge that way. That would be step one.
Awesome. Well, that's a great tip. And it's kind of goes back to that, you have to give them a taste, show them that you can help them. But
yeah,
we still have that final goal of something bigger. We're all still in business.
We're all still in business, baby. We got to make that money. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a great way for not only to give them a taste of the type of content that you're presenting, but it's also on working with you, how you teach, your personality, things like that.
Yeah. So then, I feel like you'd probably have a better retention rate or repurchase rate or whatever it is, because they already trust you. They already know you. They're not gonna be like thrown into something and purchase a course or something and they're like, oh, I didn't know what this person was gonna be like. Well, no, you took the challenge. You know exactly.
Right. Yeah.
You know what you're gonna be working with.
Yeah, exactly. And that trust is huge once you've helped them accomplish something.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, yo, she actually helped me with this. I'm going to keep working with her to, so she can continue to help me with all of this stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to give a couple shout outs. We got lots of people joining us today. Hey, Mike Alton, always fabulous to be joining us.
Love Mike Alton.
Fabulous speaker. Gabriella, also in St. Louis. So, hey, I'm up in St. Louis as well. And then we've got Chris Strub is here with us.
Strubs.
And we got Ashley Myers. Awesome. So we got lots of people. So
nice.
Share where you're at and let us know. And also don't forget to post your questions in the comments. Any questions you have about social challenges or MDMC. And we will, hey, Craig. Just jumping in, everybody.
I think Gabriella gave me a shout out via Twitter. If that is Gabriella, hello, I think so. She was like, Vanessa's coming to St. Louis. I have to find a way to get there. And I'm like, yes, girl, find a way.
Excited about you coming to town. So
she also mentioned some breweries on Twitter too, that St. Louis has good brewers. I was like, I'm a beer chick, so I'm like, let's talk breweries here.
Yes. No, we got a couple. You'll be good.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. So let's take a quick jump and look at a preview of MDMC, and then we will jump back into some questions. All right, so if you guys have been joining us, you may have seen that before, but just a quick sneak peek at what to expect at this year's Midwest Digital Marketing Conference here in St. Louis, happening in April. And Vanessa will be there as one of our fantastic speakers this year. And we have a huge lineup, so make sure you go to bestmarketingconference.com and check out our full lineup of speakers because it's large and there's so much talent and it's just so much.
A lot.
Yes. So much happening, but make sure you get there. Tickets are selling out pretty fast, so they're going like crazy, so make sure to get your ticket. But I do want to give people a bit of a sneak peek. So we've been talking about social media challenges, but can you give us a little bit of a sneak peek or why someone should attend your session, How to Host a Successful Social Media Challenge, that's at MDMC in April?
Yeah, I'd say if anyone has never hosted a social media challenge, or if they've hosted some, but it didn't quite go the way that they wanted it to go. I would say absolutely come check out the session. I'm going to give like kind of the breakdown of the steps that it takes to create a successful social media challenge. And by what I mean by successful is it that you actually make money off of the social media challenges, or if you're a not-for-profit, to raise funds from social media challenges. So yeah, I'm just going to give like a step-by-step on actually how to create one. So if that's what you guys are looking for, that's what I'm going to throw down.
Awesome. And just kind of to that, so you mentioned definitely nonprofit. So this is a session that applies to lots of different type of attendees, right? So like nonprofits, B2C, all kinds of different ones.
Yeah, I'd say with social media challenges, like I said, you can host a challenge for anything. So I don't really think social media challenges are specific to any one industry, which is another reason why I love them. So yeah, for nonprofits, if you can just take the general idea of like maybe teaching, I always look at social media challenges as like an online course that you're like literally walking them through. So if you can think of it that way, yeah, this can be used for B2C, B2B, nonprofits, and it's just such a different way on how to get your content out there, and in a fun way. And when you do social media challenges, and you do them and you set it up the right way, the engagement that you get on these challenges can be off the hook. Like I was so shocked at the 5-day Facebook Live challenge. I think I had probably about over 100 people registered for it. And I think I've had maybe about 60, mostly women, taking the challenge. And the engagement during that 5 days was incredible. So I would say that, yeah, it's for really any industry.
Awesome. And also just like for like experience level, like, could anybody attend? Do you more recommend it for someone that's maybe like an intermediate level in regards to their social media experience? I mean, we have a lot of sessions, so definitely like to help people pick the perfect one for them.
Yeah. I would say, I don't know if there's really probably like intermediate, like, you know, you have to have some knowledge of, you know, different social media channels and things like that. So I'd probably say like, you know, intermediate level.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, so kind of give you guys an idea a bit about if this is the right session for you and creating your social media challenge. And definitely, you know, it can, like she said, it can be for different types. So I know because a lot of our nonprofits are always looking to fill up their schedule with the perfect sessions for them. So I think it would be a very cool one. I also wanted to check, just an idea popped in my head, or a question. Other than, so you had an awesome social media challenge. Have you seen one that you really liked before out there? Like your favorite social media challenge that you didn't do, but somebody else did?
Oh man. Let me think.
Put you on the spot.
I know. Well, you know what? To be honest, I did a challenge, probably my first challenge, which is the way I was introduced to challenges about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I started with marketing or social media marketing when it came to email marketing. I've been doing email marketing since 2001. I'm totally dating myself, but it's true. This whole social media digital marketing didn't exist when I graduated college.
You built digital marketing. You are, okay?
All those marketers are still trying to figure it out, right? So I was, true story, I've been doing email marketing forever, and that was probably one of the niches that I started with, and I still love email marketing. And then really, it hasn't really changed that much. It's changing more now. But one of the big changes when it came to email marketing was email automation, right? And all these talks about autoresponders and funnels and things like that. So it's so funny because, you know, we could teach this stuff, but are we actually sitting down and doing it? I was guilty of not creating funnels for my own business. It was crazy, so whack. I was doing it for my clients for sure, and they were loving it. They were like, oh my, like I'm making money in my sleep, right? They wake up and they're like, you've made a sale on PayPal. And I'm like, I have got to do this for my business, right? So there was a challenge.
Clients.
We never have time to do it for our own stuff. True story. So there was this challenge, and it was how to build a funnel within 5 days. And when it came to, like, you know, it's always difficult selling yourself, you know, especially for me, like I'm a solopreneur. So I was like, I don't even know where to begin. And I could certainly consult my clients and just know their plan. But of course, when it comes to you, it's a little bit more difficult. Yeah. So I chose that 5-day funnel challenge to like get an idea, like what do I say in these emails and things like that. And the way it was structured, like every day, all you had to do, and this is how she sold it, you just have to write 1 email a day. And by the end of this challenge, you would have written a 5-day funnel. And that's exactly what it did. So what made that challenge so awesome is that I knew the benefit, what I was going to get when I completed the challenge, which is super important when you're selling or marketing the challenge. So I knew by the end of this week, I'm going to have my first funnel done. And I was like, sold. So that was probably one of my favorite funnel challenges, just because I went through it and I actually completed it. So when I was done doing that funnel, I was like, but I had like 7. After that, I'm like, okay.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready. I got this. Yeah. But I've seen a ton of others. Like, there's a ton of really cool Instagram challenges out there. I recently ran one in August of just like helping people understand Instagram, because still a lot of people are just confused about that social media channel, probably because it has everything to do with the cell phone and not laptop. But yeah, there's a ton of social media channels, challenges out there that I have been wanting to take, but haven't really. So you can pretty much find a challenge for anything nowadays.
Awesome. We do have a couple questions, so I'm going to jump these in right now. So which platforms are best for social media challenges, in your opinion?
I don't know if there's a best platform. One of the recommendations I always talk to about my clients, and when they're talking to me, is like, okay, Vanessa, what social media platform should I be on? Okay. And one of the problems I find is that they're on too many, right? They're like, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Twitter and I'm on LinkedIn. And when you say Facebook, we're not talking about just one page. You may have 2 pages, your personal profile, and a group. That's a lot to manage.
That's a lot. Yes,
that's a lot to manage. So I would say, when thinking about challenges or just any social media platform in general, you really need to know where your target audience is hanging out. Okay. So if your target audience is hanging out on Instagram and that's where you're engaging with them, then definitely hold the challenge on Instagram. If you're, it's like anything else. If they're on Facebook, then do it on Facebook. One of the things I've always done, and I did an Instagram challenge as well, but the accountability is always to come back within the Facebook group and say, I completed day 1. That's one of the ways I hold them accountable. So you can kind of like mix and match. But I would say really you have to first really know where your target audience is hanging out, and then host the challenge there. That just makes sense.
Very cool. No, that's great advice. And that's, in general, advice you just follow with social media. Go where your audience is.
Go where your audience is.
Don't have to do it just because it's a new popular platform. Doesn't mean you have to be there.
Exactly.
If you're B2B, you may not need to be on Instagram.
You don't. Yeah, not right now.
Maybe not. No, it depends on what type of B2B, but probably not. So it just depends. Awesome. And then I got another question. What if we are not looking to make money or raise funds for membership associations, more for member engagement? Would this session be for them? And this is a question from Christy. Thank you, Christy, for sharing.
What's up, Christy? That's a phenomenal question. And so, yeah, absolutely. You can run social media challenges for various reasons. Like, let's say, like you just said, I don't want to raise money. I don't want to make money. I just want to maybe re-engage a dying group, because that happens too, to hello, wake them up.
Anybody there?
Yeah, we've all been there, right? We're like, okay, my Facebook group is, they're going to sleep, so I got to do something. So yeah, for sure, you can hold social media challenges for that. If you want to grow your email list, which is actually should be one of the objectives for any of your marketing plans, and in my email opinion. So yeah, absolutely. Like any marketing plan that you sit down and you're like, okay, we're going to do a social media challenge. You always have to have the objective. Why? And so for this interview, when I was just chatting with Brianna, mine as a business owner is always to make money. Okay. Or to, for nonprofits to raise funds. But it really just has to do with what do you guys what are your goals and what are your objectives for these social media challenges? So if it's just to re-engage, For sure, but I would make sure if that's the purpose, then also to possibly like grow your membership too, and grow your email, and just try and get more members in and say, hey guys, we're running this really free challenge. Come check it out, and this is what you'll get, and then hopefully you'll grow your membership, you'll re-engage your current members, and grow your list at the same time.
Awesome. So just having that end goal and that plan in place, not
right.
Just jumping into it.
Yeah, there's always a why. Why are we doing this?
Yes. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to jump back. Oh, here's another one. Which platforms have cool features to support a challenge?
Cool features to support a challenge. I don't know if there's like any social media channels that have current features to support a challenge per se. I think this is an interesting question. I think one of the things that you can look at are the different social media channels and what features that they have to offer. Okay. So for example, if you wanted to hold your challenge within a private Facebook group, and I'm always going back to that example because that's how I hold my challenges. But let's say you're holding an Instagram challenge. One of the cool features is that, you can go live within your private Facebook group, and only the challengers are able to see, that day's prompt, or, the tip that you're giving them for that day. Okay. Rather than, you can't really go live on Instagram and just have just your prospects see that live. So I would say just look at the general features of each social media channel in general and see how you can use them to create your social media challenge or to run it.
Awesome question. Thank you. So I want to check back in on MDMC. So this is your second year, I believe. Keep track of everybody. So obviously you're returning, and we love that you're returning to the conference. In your opinion, what makes MDMC different than some of the other conferences out there?
Oh man. Okay, Brianna, how much time do you have? So
are
you ready for this answer? I got loads of time. Go ahead. Okay. So this is my second year returning. Last year was my first. And to be honest, I just love the vibe. The vibe of MDMC, it's so down to earth. The speakers that you guys had were incredible. The content was there just from like the overall flow of the conference, not even just as a speaker, but as attendees. It just, they're like, just the information, and then the people there. That's pretty much what made it. Because I've attended, let's just be real, I've attended a lot of marketing conferences. I'm going to be real here. And there's a lot of egos involved that you meet people who are like rock stars, big influencers, things like that. And you can't approach them, or, from my personal experience, MDMC was completely different. It was just so down to earth. You could talk to the speakers, the whole energy and the whole vibe. And I was so stoked from returning from MDMC that I did a live stream, shocker, and where I threw down the 5 things that I personally walked away from the conference. And I said at the end, I'm like, if I don't come back as a speaker, then I would definitely come back as an attendee, no doubt. Now I'm super stoked I'm coming back as a speaker and talking about challenges, because as you can see, I can talk about challenges all day. All day. But so that was pretty much it. It was just like the vibe and like the people that I met, like, Stephanie Liu and Mike Alton and Chris Strobes. I'm always giving them shout outs now, and a ton of other people. And that's priceless, because even though we're in this digital marketing space, it's a virtual world, and the fact that we can do this live stream, and, we have a producer out in San Diego, Stephanie Liu, that's crazy. In my opinion, nothing is going to take over like the in-person human interaction, which I think is just so important. And for all of us who are, home-based businesses and trying to run these, online businesses alone, like a home base, which is where I'm at, it can get pretty lonely at times. And you're like, I need to see 3-dimensional people. I need to see Brianna 3-dimensionally. Okay. It was just the vibe, man. I cannot wait to go back. You guys do an incredible job running this conference. It's beyond impressive.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I think that is something different. It's just we're focused so much on education and just
Yeah.
people sharing knowledge. And I think the speakers come in wanting that too, just to connect with others and share and meet. And because everyone's just there for that same goal, nobody's there to be the best or anything. We're just
Right.
there to learn and meet other people who want to learn the same things we want to learn. And it's just, yeah, I always leave too. I always leave exhausted, but really energized by the fact that there's so many passionate marketers out there who are as crazy about marketing as I am. And I feel a little less crazy when I leave.
Yeah. It's like we found our people.
You do. Because, sometimes people are like, you did a little too much of the marketing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no such thing. Shh.
I know. I'm like, you don't understand. You don't get it.
Yes. Greg, I agree. It is always so important to speak with people who are passionate about the same things. I feel like it energizes you about your passion and you get more excited about it. It does. There's just something different about meeting people in person than just talking to you via Skype or on social media.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's a perfect word, energized. I was so energized after MDMC. I could not wait to come back and implement everything I learned, even as a speaker. Like, I couldn't wait to get to all these sessions and to meet these new people and things like that. So I learned so much. And me being from Chicago, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's nearby. It's near home. Yeah.
Awesome. So this year, obviously, I'm sure outside of being at your session or practicing for your session, prepping, you'll be at other sessions as well. Are there any sessions in particular you're really looking forward to attending this year?
Yes, I am. And I don't know if he's still watching, but I'm definitely, because we talked about you beforehand.
Yeah.
Is Mike Alton. Mike Alton's workshop on content for sure. I'm going to be there. I do a lot of local seminars here in Chicago, and I speak on to a lot of women's organizations. I'm very blessed to have been asked to be speakers at all these different organizations. And last year, when I surveyed my attendees, and I saw one of the seminars that I would do talking about creating content, right? Because that's such a monster piece of this social media puzzle. That was one of my most sold out seminars. I think it sold out in like 5 days. They're like, Vanessa, I don't think I even marketed it. I had so many people come to, I was like, holy cow. And it was about creating content. So when I met Mike Alton last year, I have been following him ever since. And this guy is like I don't know how, this is what I want to know, how he's able to create all this content from like one live stream or one video or one blog, and like, boom, like kills it with all these different content and, finding the time and all that. So I definitely want to learn from Mike, and I'm definitely attending his content workshop. That was number one on my list to attend.
Awesome. Yes. So yes, Mike we're going to get some more details that you should check out the website and see some more details about his workshop. He's sending some additional ones on, but no, that's going to be an awesome workshop to attend. And just a little bit about the workshops, if you guys don't know, is we have 8 workshops, possibly 9. I'll keep you posted.
Nice.
Workshops on, they're pre-conference, so they're on the 16th, and they are from 9 to noon and then 1 to 4. So they're 3 hours long, so they're more of an intensive, deeper dive than you would get in the normal 15-minute breakout session. So if you guys are interested in that, you can purchase them individually, or you do get one included in your VIP pass. So that's also always an option. Due to schedule, you can only attend 2 total, because 4 running in the morning, 4 in the evening. But pick your 2 favorites if you want to hit them both up. But yeah, so if you do the VIP ticket, though, you do get one included already. So make sure to check those out if you haven't got your MDMC ticket yet, which you totally should. So,
absolutely.
So make sure to get your MDMC ticket. Awesome. Let me see. If there's any more questions, I don't see any right now. But yeah, so everybody don't forget to get your tickets. Ticket prices, the discounted price is there until the end of the month. And then after that, it goes up to full price. So don't wait. And then don't forget to check out Vanessa's session at MDMC. You definitely are going to want to learn more about social media challenges. I've already learned so much today. I'm like, what do I want to do? I want to do one. So
Yeah.
I'm going to figure that out. And I just want to do a big shout out to Stephanie Liu, who is producing our show all the way from California, because technology is awesome and she is awesome. And I don't know how she does this, but I love it.
It's so badass. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I know. So just big shout out for her always producing these every week. And real quick, I'm going to look away from the screen because I'm going to pull up next week's. I should have had that pulled up. But every Monday, we have a Facebook Live episode with a speaker. So just like today, we will be speaking with next week. Come on, you can open. We have another speaker, and we will also have a Twitter chat next week. So those are sporadic, but we will have a Twitter chat on Tuesday, and we will have our Facebook Live at 2 p.m. Central on Monday the 11th with Danny Monzon. So check back next Monday.
Nice.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Vanessa.
Bye. Thanks so much for having me. I'll see you guys all in April.